Hi there, welcome one and all to another Toonkind D&D game. Well, this is an FPS. I am Morski, but you're free to call me Morski, and I'm joined here with a friend. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I am RJ. I will be playing the bastard motherfucker unlimited that is Decimal Weaver of Fate.
And on that note, I'm playing resident cinnamon roller wizard Hugh Script. So this will be fun.
Unstoppable force meets immovable objects. Let's see how the
Well,
shenanigans go down, huh?
yeah, it's like, let the chaos commence.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I guess on that note, he's like, so yeah, it's been a couple days, probably half a week since some certain shenanigans happened since the last game he was in, or
Mm-hmm.
FPS. So he's out for another walk. Maybe just keeping an eye around town to see if there's anyone he recognizes, but he's out to explore a bit. There's only so much you can be inside before you go a little crazy.
That's fair. But also, Hugh, oh my god, man, you just stop taking walks. Because the plot will just find you. Like it does in this case, I guess. Go ahead and roll perception.
Yeah, sure. Let's see how badly that goes, I guess. I mean, Hugh's perception is a +5, and he got an 11.
Oh boy. Okay, well, it's enough to notice the small crowd that is gathered a kind of around an alleyway. Uh you can't tell what it is that they're so focused on, but that's there.
He's curious, why not? He'll go check it out. It's not like this'll go bad, yeah? Nah.
Alrighty, well, I actually need to grab my dice because I didn't do that originally. Come here.
That's
Cool.
fair.
Right. Dice obtained. Let's see how well he does on this. Okay, that's pretty good. That's really not. We'll take the better one.
Okay, what happened? What were the rolls?
I was rolling sleight of hand to see how well he was doing this. So that's a 16 plus 10 and a 1 plus 10. We'll take the 16
Oh
plus
my
10 because he has
goodness.
advantage on this. Yeah, so
Valid.
as you get closer, you can hear the crowd kind of oohing and ahhing a little bit. And you kind of gently shove a few people out the way because you are not very tall.
Hugh probably does his best, like, just step in between the people. I mean, okay, to be fair, I am short in real life too, so I have to do this. So I just, like, dodge through the people. He probably does that to peek through, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You,
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do eventually get to the kind of front of the crowd, and you see a man you've not seen for half a week. Uh, and yeah, no, this is the very familiar now red-headed Toon, in a hat and a very swanky jacket. And he is very expertly throwing some cards up in the air, performing some neat tricks. Like just casually flicking a whole bunch of cards into the air and swiping them out with one hand, or making them dance across his fingers or whatever. Funky card tricks. He who funky card tricks.
Hugh is definitely looking at that with stars and in his eyes because, hello, that is cool. And Hugh gets wowed easily by this kind of stuff.
That's very fair. It doesn't seem like the He Who Funky Cartomancer has seen you yet. Do you want to? Ooh.
Yeah, and you know what? I rolled stealth to see how Hugh does on this, and he got an 18.
That's still not good enough to beat Decimal's passive perception.
That's hilarious, but
It's
like...
close. It's not quite enough. But
yeah.
you are lucky enough in that he is kind of focused on his card tricks. Go ahead and roll a quick little insight for me, if you will.
Yeah, sure. Let's see how badly that goes. Dice, please be
Dice
kind
parser
to
be
me.
nice. Dice parser be nice. That's good.
Dice parser
That's
was
very
nice.
good.
That's
Okay,
an 18.
that beats that DC. Cool. So for a moment you're kind of enraptured by the He Who Funky card tricks, but as he like kind of gets them to dance in a wave, your attention catches on his jacket. You remember in Rikishi's Demiplane, Dude got almost bisected at one point, which was not fun to
And
watch for anyone involved. But
I
you,
imagine it wasn't fun to experience
yeah,
either.
no,
And like,
maybe
gonna be
not,
honest, Hugh.
maybe not. Uh,
And like, gotta be honest, Hugh has been worried for Decimal, considering he freaking disappeared on all of them and didn't even let himself be healed or something. So like,
yeah,
he's wondering how he's doing.
yeah. So your attention catches on his chest because you can spot with that fucking 18 uh where he had been cut and his jacket had been cut. There is some very careful stitching that is almost invisible to the naked eye. It's very clearly a practiced trick that just kind of sews up where the jacket itself has been cut. Um, but as you spot that, you also spot a couple more things. His outline is intentionally kind of sketchy. That's just how he's drawn. But it looks slightly more ragged than usual, almost. And his hat is sat slightly further forward on his head to almost shade his eyes. And as you're looking at all that, you notice his hands are actually kind of shaking a little bit. And you realize, oh hey, that's probably why he hasn't noticed me. He's working very hard to keep that from being apparent.
Ma- Hugh is very conflicted on this because I imagine that Decimal is doing all of this so he can earn himself some money, and Hugh doesn't want to stop that, but also Hugh's worried. Like Decimal did him a kindness back over in Tangled Strings, and Hugh would honestly like to befriend him. He's not gonna stop him from earning money though. So I feel like Hugh would kind of find himself a nice place to sit, just on the side, so Decimal can do his thing. But like, if it does go too far, Hugh's gonna go and bug him.
Fair enough. Yeah, so you sequester yourself just kind of in the mouth of the alleyway, just the side a little bit, and over the next like 20 or so minutes, you watch him do his work, and it is impressive work. He captures people's attention with the card tricks, and then will tend to switch out the cards that he's using to throw some Taroka cards down on the table in readings. And watching him the way you are, you can tell kind of a little bit how he does his readings here. You notice that he tends to take a moment to study the people who look the most interested and then pick someone out and give him a quick look up and down, almost like he's kind of analyzing them before drawing his cards. You can't see any like foul play with the actual card drawing itself, but you get the feeling he reads the people he's reading for before he says anything.
Fair, because at the end of the day, too, I mean, fortune telling, Taraka, that kind of stuff. Like, I think Hugh has picked up at this point that Desmo is just one of those kind of people that are very observant. And he is using that to sort of predict what that person will probably do. So, like, Hugh figures that must be how he works.
You're not incorrect. But there's also something about the things that he does that don't quite make sense. The observations that you draw versus the things that Decimal says don't seem to match up. And you notice there is a faint red glow to his eyes when he does his readings. So you figure, huh, there may be a little bit of magic involved in that too.
Can Hugh roll Arcana for that?
Sure, yeah, go ahead. There are
This
people
is
screaming
something
outside my
he's.
window. Hang on.
Oops. Yeah, and I guess on Hugh's end, dang, he got such a bad roll for this. Come on.
Apologies.
No worries, and I rolled. Can I argue advantage? Because dang it, he was good at magic, and a 10 is kind of terrible.
I will let you have advantage for that reason, and also for the reason of you heard what Rikishi said about Decimal.
Dice Parser said I'll get a 10
You'll
and
take a
only
10
a
and
10.
like it.
Come on!
There is magic involved. You feel fairly certain in that conclusion. You don't know what magic, but it's there.
You can probably just feel the magic. And he probably feels that it's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all he can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
After these 20 minutes or so, the crowd does thin out a bit, and you can see Decimal just quickly counting out the gold that he got. It's not very much. People don't seem to pay very much toward it, and he kind of sighs a little bit before putting it in his coat, and looks up, and your eyes meet, and you can see the moment he freezes.
I'm gonna be honest, I was checking to see whether Hugh has any gold, and unfortunately my kid's broke. otherwise Hugh would have dropped some more coins in. But okay, I guess Hugh is broke, he can't really help on that end. But I guess with that freeze, I feel like he would just kind of wave a hi and probably try and just walk over.
Alrighty. In the time that it takes you to walk over, he has somehow managed to gather all the cards, slip them into his sleeve, pull the cloth off the table that's in front of him and shove that in his coat, and has folded up the table and is in the process of jamming that into his coat as well.
Please don't run away. I just wanted to see how you're doing, and I guess hi, how are you holding up? Are you actually making sure to rest after everything? Just he's not too sure what to say either. There is no nice way to say, hey, you got almost bisected. How on earth are you dealing with that? You ran away from healing. Come on, dude.
So Decimal doesn't trust like that, unfortunately. So that's an insight check. Oh wow. That's kind
How'd
of
he
unfortunate.
do?
Not too bad, but not great for him. It's a 16 in total.
Oh dear. I can give you advantage because Hugh is not hiding any of this.
Alright, sure. Oh, you bastard, you would. That's a natural 20. That's 9.
Holy bleep.
Distrusting motherfucker. Well, he can kind of tell you're being sincere, but also he does not trust like that. So, he does take a step back as you're getting closer. He's still smirking, but it's ever so slightly strained, and he goes, Is it just you, or are the others hiding around here somewhere too?
No, I just went out for a walk. I managed to wrangle an hour one from my roommate, so, it's just me. Pretty sure Pip and Gregory aren't even in town right now, and I haven't heard from Lynn. I imagine she went back to her home.
His shoulders untense slightly, and he goes, Right. Well, I'm fine, as you can see. Now, if you'll excuse me, and he will attempt to leave.
Hugh's not going to let him leave, and also, as you can see, I'm doing fine. He was pressing X to doubt. He knows what he saw earlier. I'm, Decimal with your freaking nat 20 earlier and already high passive perception. You can see that Hugh doubts what you just said, and he's gonna follow you. Yeah, okay. I kind of doubt that. Have you
are
at least
you
gone to the hospital or something? He said this out loud.
you know that thing that cats' ears do where they kind of press backward when they're like not happy?
Yeah?
You can see a hint of that in Decimal's own ears. Um and he goes, "Someone did heal me. Yes, I am fine. Leave me alone."
I'm going to. Can you roll insight on
Sure,
that?
yeah, go ahead.
An 11. Well,
What's she
fitting,
gonna
I guess he doesn't exactly know decimal well.
have?
What was
Oh
that?
boy, okay. So that's 1 plus 7. That was Decimal attempting to persuade you and himself that everything is in fact fine, he is okay, leave him be. That's a
That
nat
was a
1 plus
nat
7.
1! Hugh is pressing X to doubt, and you can see this. Hugh is still being sincere, but I guess since Decimal doesn't trust like that, the only thing he can tell is that, yeah, Hugh is not going to be leaving him. Not for a little while, at least.
I think at that Decimal will stop and kind of just, drag his hands down his face, press them together, and point them at you and go, "What do I have to say to get you to leave me be?"
Nothing, I guess, just let me be around you a little bit so I can see myself. Hugh is just looking at Decimal in the eyes, just like, look, you were hurt badly. Let me at least see. It didn't seem like you were okay earlier, and like Hugh's worried for you, dude.
There is a very visible measured inhale, measured exhale before he goes, "Fine, but you'll have to keep up." And he is going to bolt.
He's gonna run on after him then.
Alrighty, well. Decimal is fast as fuck boy and is movement dash, cunning action dash. So, do you have a way to keep up with that? That's 90 feet per round.
Wow. Well, luckily Hugh does. He can. So he can cast Misty Step as a bonus action to jump 30 feet forwards, and he can use his action to dash. And he can do that a few times, and he does have Thunder Step, though that's a bit more tricky in crowded places. He's gonna save that one.
Oh boy, okay. So for the first 6 or so seconds you do manage to keep up. And he like looks at you slightly and curses before immediately darting to the left and running into a crowd. So that's enough for fuck's sake. The dice want this to happen. That's another nat 1 plus 7. He attempts to dart into a crowd to try and lose you and immediately trips on a table and eats it.
He's going to like skid. I'm going to say he sees that he like skids right beside this and just like goes, "Oh goodness! Like is he okay? He wasn't looking good earlier either." And like he's gonna attempt to help pull him out, and if someone was at the table, he's gonna apologize to them. And I guess that's what Hugh is now like gripping you by your coat sleeve.
Okay, alright. I guess this would be... yeah. Oh, yeah, now you do it. Okay. So you grab a hold of him. Go ahead and roll acrobatics or athletics, whichever one's higher.
Would be acrobatics, because Hugh's athletics is a -1.
Oh my god.
Hugh is just a small lad doing his best. And he is a wizard, and oh my goodness, this will be a disaster. Well, acrobatics is still a +3. And that's a 10.
Yeah, no, like, he eats it and immediately jumps back up to his, like, hands and knees, and you grab him, and then he, like, spins and lashes out at you, and you let go and step back, and he goes, "Don't touch me!" And you can see, now, he looks almost like a feral cat. His fangs are bared and his hands are shaking, and you notice one of his hands, the pinky finger seems to be held weirdly.
I think first when Decimal yells, well, to not touch him, he's going to step back and raise his hands. Sorry, I didn't know that you're uncomfortable with touch. Okay. Is your hand is your hand doing fine? Cause I guess Hugh noticed the bit with the pinky, and he's not too sure what to do here. He wants to help, but Decimal is being himself. So he's trying to talk. What can he do?
Well, okay, yeah. What's your crazy high? It's +9 in it. Yep. uh, Decimal opens his mouth to say something and then catches himself and looks around at the attention you guys are drawing before quietly, like, scoffing and standing up, brushing himself off and moving to stalk away. And he's not stopping you from following, if you would so desire to do that.
He's gonna just kind of, I guess, trot on over.
You will notice as he's walking away, he's heading toward the alleyways again, but he's kind of like pulled his coat tighter around himself, and one hand is like on the brim of his hat, pulling it down lower over his face. And he's not saying anything, but his left hand is kind of tucked into his pocket. That's the hand with the busted pinky.
He's kind of wishing he had the healing potion, but he doesn't. He'd offer it. Can Hugh try rolling insight to get a read?
Oh,
that was a nat one.
You got nothing, Chief.
He's trying his best, but Decimal is tall, mysterious, and his hat is covering his face. He knows nothing.
F in the chat.
Yes. Yeah, I guess.
You go ahead.
You can continue. No, I actually just say, yeah, I guess he's just going to continue walking. He's gonna be quiet for a bit, cause, yeah, this is, like, he's still not too sure how to go about this. He's wondering if there's a way to, like, persuade Decimal to at least visit the hospital.
Alright, so Decimal leads the two of you into the alleyways, and he goes up to a specific one that has a fire escape on the side, and I actually have to roll another acrobatics check for this.
Hey, shall Hugh also roll acrobatics?
5 plus 7, that's 12. Yeah, okay, that does meet that. Cool. DC was 12, so that's fucking good. He does this little hop, skip, jump thing where, like, he runs forward a little bit to get a bit of momentum, steps hard, pushes himself up onto a dumpster, and then kicks off the wall to grab a ladder, and using his body weight, just it pulls down so that he could properly climb it. And he just kind of looks at you like, you fucking coming?
Coming, though. Do you want to roll insight on Hugh?
Yes. 16 plus 9.
Wow.
25.
Yeah, just, Decimal, you realize that Hugh thinks that was very freaking cool. And with a 19, I think Hugh manages to climb up the ladder okay.
I mean, I wasn't gonna make you roll for it, but yeah, no, that definitely does it.
Thankfully, Hugh does not fall off the fire escape, so yay, success.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys get up on top of the fire escape, and Decimal kind of walks across the rooftop to sit on the edge of it. And he doesn't say anything, but he can tell you're not gonna drop the subject, so he just lifts lifts his left hand up and pulls his glove off, and you can see his hands are covered in scars. Um, little thin lines, mostly across his fingers, but there's some on the palm and there's some on the back. Um, and his claws, which are normally hidden by the gloves, glint in the light. But you can also see there is a thick ropey scar that runs across like the inside of his hand where the tendons would be for his left pinky. And you realize, oh shoot, something has cut that and it's permanently damaged his hand. He's not saying anything, he's just showing you that because he can tell you won't drop it.
I think he will nod at that, and I'm guessing that's an old scar, yeah? Or it's not something new that anything can be done for.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess Hugh will nod and just be like, okay. And he's going to sit down next to Decimal. Try not to get too close, cause I guess Decimal doesn't like being touched. But he's there now. Gonna roll perception to see what sights Hugh sees up on the roofs.
Oh, 22,
What?
nice.
What does Hugh see with his Ghiblian eyes?
Yeah, so yeah, you guys are you guys are in Toontown itself. But oh, cat just dropped out on that side. Yeah, you guys are in Toontown itself, but you guys are fairly close to like a small waterway in the town itself, and it's just mostly looking over that. There's people going by on the streets below. There's hustle and bustle and general movement of life down there. And you notice Decimal glance at you with a bitter smile, and he goes, "Well, you've caught me. The fuck do you want with me?"
I just want to see whether you're okay because he went through all of, and like Hugh waves his hand that last week, and you disappeared on all of us. I mean, I get if you don't want to speak about what happened to you before, but I can't help but worry.
He laughs at you. He just laughs at you, and he goes, "That was a fucking altruistic. You must be deranged." But he seems to believe you.
Oh. Yeah, Hugh just kind of looks in that, well, maybe, but sometimes a little kindness goes a long way, and clearly you're not someone bad. You didn't have to comfort me when we saw my memory, so...
He will seize upon that, because emotional parkour, and go, "Yeah, no, what the fuck was that? Why was that there? Why did you see that?"
I don't know. I don't even know how my father found whatever that was. Like, he was quiet for a bit, and like I know a couple of weeks beforehand he was more distant than usual, but honestly I was just glad to have a break from training, so I just took the time to try and meet up with Rena. and then all of that happened.
It's gonna go
Like you.
ahead and roll religion on that name. Fucking Christ, dude. So that
I
is.
mean, to be fair, you recognized it back in Tangled Strings.
Yeah, but.
So I'd say
Sure.
you actually do pass the DC on that.
Oh, fair enough. Alright then.
Because that's more than a 10, and you already succeeded with like over 20 last time. So yeah, you recognize, hey, big old 80 over from Yeast. Yeah, So apparently this kid knows that lady. Uh, if you want, you can roll insight as well.
Absolutely, he will. Oh, shit, I missed the box.
Oops.
Hey, that's a dirty 20.
Cool. Yeah, I guess with that, so you see, Hugh really doesn't know where these weirdly dark shadows came from. No one seems to have told him anything, and you imagine Hugh tried to find out what he could, but, well, no one seems to know anything about them. I mean, Kane did, but he's not around, and do you really want to talk to him?
That's fair,
So.
yeah.
Like, I guess he's gonna ask this on next, like, do you know anything about what those shadows are?
He drums his fingers on his chest for a moment before, he doesn't take off his coat, but he does open it slightly and unbutton his shirt to reveal, a set of armor underneath. But it's not armor you've ever seen before. It seems to be almost form-fitting, and there is this strange kind of lock symbol in the chest. And he goes, I've seen it twice. Once was in this, backwater town in Pixar Protectorate. The other one was in Villastown. Whatever the fuck it is, it's twisted as hell. I could. He cuts off there. He doesn't finish that thought.
Okay, yeah, I guess he's noted that, but he's not gonna push. Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I was really lucky. Do you want to roll me insight?
Yes, always. Jesus, that's when you need to stop rolling so good, dude. This is why you ate it earlier.
Yeah, so holy bleep, my dude. So yeah, he was very lucky because you remember exactly how he almost got swallowed by those shadows. If it wasn't for Rena there, he probably would have made it. And it seems like Hugh is speaking with knowledge of what happens if you don't make it. You know, as if he's witnessed someone fall to the shadows, and what are the consequences of that?
Honestly, considering what Hugh's memories were, that really doesn't surprise Decimal very much.
Yeah. Plus, you know, he probably remembers what he mentioned about Valis getting swallowed up.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling when you get to face a boss battle after trauma.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna be a bit quiet.
Yeah, no, Decimal doesn't really know what to say either, which is a first for him. Normally he's got some kind of quip or piece of dry wit to fall back up on, but not in the face of your sincerity.
This is what happens when you throw a cinnamon roll at a bastard.
Yeah, no, it throws him for a loop and makes him eat it.
It's like, shoot, sincerity, what do I do?
Oh no, sincerity, my one weakness.
Um, I guess like after a bit of quietness and like for I'm going to say the two of them probably look out at the view a bit. I'm gonna roll Dex for fun because I'm gonna say Hugh leans out. Okay, thankfully he doesn't like almost tip over, but Decimal, you do see him lean over a bit to just kind of check out the view. You get the feeling he hasn't actually been on any roofs, really. Being this somewhere this tall is kind of a new one for Hugh.
Step one of running away from things. No one ever thinks to look up.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? I'm just like, he's going to note this and like, step one in Decimal being a bad influence, teaching Hugh where to run away.
Yeah. You do notice he's gotten out a deck of cards again. It's just absently shuffling them. It's kind of a little bit hilarious seeing him perform all these really intricate tricks just absent-mindedly.
Hugh thinks it's really cool. It must have taken a lot of time and effort to get that good, you know, and well, these kind of things are neat. Can Hugh roll perception on that? Because
Yeah, no, go
he's
ahead
going
and
to
roll
look.
insight. I need to roll something
Oh,
else real quick.
okay.
Okay. Okay, cool, that's fine.
Come on, dice, please.
15, okay.
And you got a 15.
Alright, cool. Well, Decimal's hands do twitch slightly, but he manages to just save the shuffle and not send cards flying everywhere, which would suck, because probably someone flew off the roof. That'd be hell to try and pick them all up. But,
Yeah.
yeah, his hands do twitch slightly, and he finishes the shuffle and pauses, and you can tell, because he's not put his glove back on, you can see, the cards that he's holding in his left hand, the positions that he's got them in align very closely with some of the scars on his fingers. Like, almost exact same locations. And he will go something like that.
I have practiced a lot with these cards.
Not just cards. And I need some more space. Okay, yeah, okay. So he shoves the cards back into his sleeve and he reaches into his hammer space and he pulls out, it looks like his regular set of cards, but you notice they're made of metal and the edges seem sharpened. He just holds them. You notice he's not holding these. He's holding these with his gloved hand. He's not touching these with his bare fingers. And there's a little bitter, rueful, smirk on his face. Pain's a good teacher.
Yeah, it can be. You wanna roll me insight on this one too?
Absolutely, I do. So glad you keep asking. 15 plus 9.
Yeah, Hugh has certainly learned from pain. Do you wanna roll me perception? As well?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Okay, not as good, but still decent. 12 plus 9. That's only 21.
That's still a dirty 20, and I will just say it's it doesn't seem like Hugh even notices, but like he's holding his arm. You get the feeling that those training sessions you mentioned earlier were kind of painful.
There is a moment of silence, because Decimal has seen some of your memories. You've not seen any of his, but he's seen some of your memories, and he's listened to what you said about your past, and you can tell he's kind of confused. Almost.
Can Hugh roll insight for
Sure,
this?
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
This game is just like roll insight, the game.
Insight, the FPS. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
give you advantage
goodness.
on this. I'm gonna give you advantage on this, because I want you to see this.
Dice parser, please be kind.
18! That's
18,
better!
yes.
Oh shit, I do actually have to roll this, don't I? Oh wow, okay. So,
What does that
I will
mean?
say that meets it beats it, and you do notice this. That was a deception roll. He doesn't understand you. He does not get you at all. Your lives have both been shit, but somehow you've managed to come at it smelling like roses, and he hasn't, and he's fucking baffled by it.
Yeah, I guess on Hugh's end, he was lucky enough to have someone in his corner. He was lucky enough to have someone in his corner, and sometimes a little kindness goes a long way, so he'd like to return that kindness, you know? Things get better.
Do you say this out loud?
I don't think Hugh does.
Alrighty.
Oh, I guess if you want to, Decimal can roll insight again to see whether like Hugh notices.
The answer to the question, do you want to roll insight, is always going to be yes, and also that's a 27.
Holy bleep. You definitely notice then, Hugh has seen your confusion and is, he's accepting it, like, well, I guess we've both been through a lot. We're just handling it in different ways. I feel like it might be quiet a bit, but Hugh's going to pipe up then, so you're good. You're really good with cards. Do you think I can learn some of those tricks?
Well, let's find out, shall we? He's gonna tug his glove back on and put the sharp metal card away again. And he will give you, need to roll hammer space again. D10. Okay, yeah, no, he pulls out, it looks just like a whole bunch of bits of plastic, but you notice, oh hey, they're roughly about the same size as a playing card, and as he hands them to you, they're also about the same weight as a playing card. And he will pull out his own cards at the same time, and he will show you a very, very simple little, I fucking forget what the name of the shuffle is.
To be fair, I myself as the player barely know anything about cards, so Hugh and I are in the same boat here.
Yeah. He does a little. I actually don't know what this would be called in Einquell, because it's called a Hindu shuffle in real life.
Um,
But essentially what he does is he takes the deck of cards and puts them, he just holds them in his left hand. And he grabs the top set of cards, and then using his pinky finger on his right hand, he holds them in place and then grabs the next set of cards from the top. So he's grabbing them in like little bunches to shuffle them. Go ahead and roll. What would this be? I guess investigation or perception, whichever one's higher, to see if you can fully understand the mechanics of the movement he's making.
okay, investigation, don't fail me now.
19!
Yes, that's a
nice!
19.
Alrighty, yeah, so you can, yeah, you can see every movement he's making, and he is, like, doing it slowly so you can properly watch his hands.
This is like the Spider-Man meme of like the older the older one
bit,
sitting
yeah,
down
bit.
and the smaller one is just looking.
little bit, yeah. And he will like gesture with his now empty left hand, to the set of training cards that you have, and go, "Well, your turn."
Okay, and I guess this would be dexterity, yeah?
Yeah,
He doesn't have any bonuses
I
to
will. I
sleight of
will
hand,
give you
so.
advantage because you rolled so well. Oh boy, I will
Oh
give you
my
advantage because you rolled
goodness.
so well. On the watching roll. 10. Okay. Um,
Hugh is
your
trying.
fingers tangled a little bit.
Yeah. He's just trying his best, but well, these sort of things take practice.
Yeah, your fingers tangle together a little bit. And he like stops you and corrects your holding, and then guides you through the movement with like he's holding your hands and making you do the movements as he does them. So you can go ahead and roll again if you want.
Come on, dice parser, please.
DP be nice. 16. Okay, that's good.
16.
That's good. Um, yeah, your technique's a little bit shaky, but it's decent. It is very clearly a Hindu shuffle.
Huzzah! Yeah, he's going to give Decimal a smile and a thank you. He's cheerful about this, you know. It's nice to learn new things. It's nice to learn new things, and yeah, Decimal, you're not escaping the friendship, dang it.
He doesn't know quite what to do with the smile and the thank you, but he kind of just goes, sure. Well, keep practicing, you'll probably have it down in the next few months.
I'll do so.
Hmm.
Just Hugh says this resolutely. He has something new to do in his free time.
He shuffles back a little bit to make more space between the two of you again. But he doesn't take the training cards back. It seems like you can keep those.
Okay, cool. I guess Hugh has a new item for his Pumble chart, thanks. Oh.
He is once again
Yeah,
absent-mindedly shuffling his own cards.
I feel like with this quietness, he's thinking. He's thinking on what he saw from Decimal and everything going on, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll Hammer Space.
Oh boy. 6. Okay, you make it.
So yeah, I guess I won't even make you roll Perception for this. Hugh has some keys in his hand. He's looking at them thoughtfully.
If you're wanting to protect yourself with those in your hand, you want to hold it so the longest key extends out from the side of your fist. So that way the key doesn't go back into your knuckles when you punch someone. But also, if they grab you, then you can just... And he will gesture to, like, whipping his hand backward to stab someone in the side or whatever.
My goodness! Holy bleep, Decimal. Hugh is just blinking like he was not expecting this information. Okay, I mean, he'll remember it. Considering how Hugh seems kind of prone to being kidnapped, he probably needs to know this, let's be honest. I mean, okay. Okay. I was actually wondering, I don't know what your living situation is, but, I have spare keys to my apartment. Do you want them? There's like a spare guest room. It's, even if it's just like stay briefly or something. And Hugh is like just shyly trying to say like, hey, you need a space to stay even temporarily. You can have it if you want.
Roll insight.
Cool.
Nope. His face has shut down. You can't read him. Um, he does not take the keys.
Okay. Hugh's a bit saddened, but like, that's fair. He's not gonna press.
Go ahead and roll persuasion real quick.
Dice parser, please be kind to me. What does you get with a dirty 20?
There's an awkward pause before Decimal just lets out this put upon sign and just holds his hand out silently for the key. He's like, fucking fine. You look like a kicked puppy.
Yes. You immediately brightens up and like he carefully places the keys in your hand, Decimal.
They get shoved into his coat.
Sincerity, his one weakness.
Yeah, literally.
Hugh probably isn't even aware of this. He's just doing what feels right to him. And you get a small smile, Decimal.
He doesn't smile back, but the sharp edges on his face aren't as sharp as they usually are.
I am calling that a success, and so is Hugh, dang it.
He kind of notices the victorious glee on your face and abruptly looks away, like shoulders hunching again as he stares out across the view from the rooftop. You see him look up slightly toward the sun, and you figure, oh hey, he's probably guesstimating the time. And he, like, stands up on the edge and goes, well, this was something, but some of us have jobs to get to, you know?
I guess so, but, I guess stay safe, okay? If we meet again on the streets, think you can show me more of those card tricks?
His face does this kind of weird thing for a moment, like he's not quite sure what to make of that request before you can see the mental thought of, I'm probably never gonna see him again, it's probably fine. Sure, kid.
Just you pecking weight, Decimal.
And then he like tips his hat slightly and backflips off the roof.
Yeah, I guess Hugh is like going to just lean over and watch, and he's probably just gonna wave then.
Yeah, no, you see him very skillfully. He backflips off and one hand is holding onto his hat, while the other just casually reaches out and snags, a line of bunting or something like that to slow his fall slightly, and he uses it like a trapeze to swing, into another flip, grabs hold of a street lamp, and spins down around it until he's on the floor. I got 8 to roll. Okay. So that was a 3+7. He attempts to hide his quick glance up toward where you are, but you catch it, because that was a fucking 10. There's a like a very quick glance across your face, like, is he impressed? Oh yeah, he's impressed. Alright, cool. And then he walks away.
He was definitely impressed. He's satisfied. He made a new friend. He's still worried, kind of worried for Decimal, but hey, he's looking forward to seeing him again in the future. And I think Hugh's going to just climb back down much more carefully. Climb back down to the streets and probably finish off his walk before either heading to the library or heading back home.
That's fair. And I think we zoom out on that We cut briefly to Decima walking down the street, shuffling his cards before he freezes in place, realizing that motherfucker. We fucking tricked me into being his friend. Son of a bitch. And then we cut to black.
Yes. Well, this was fantastic. Thank you.
That went really well. I'm so glad the dice made him eat it like that. That was great.
Yes, I am so glad. It's like, yes, it worked. There's no running away from the friendship. Hugh came with sincerity and being himself, and it did wonderfully.
Hell yeah, it did. So.
And it's fun. And hey, Decimal is a cool, slick bastard, but, well, that's that dude. You have a friend now. You're not backing out of this, I'm sorry.
He's been tricked into found family by 2 people now.
Amazing.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for listening who were listening to the recording of this.
Yeah, thanks for listening into our chaos game. It was a blast.
It was a lot of fun. Bye-bye
and
for
thanks
now.
for having me.
Oh,
yeah. Later's all.
Bye.